we got big news. Welcome back to the Defending Football Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before we get into it, I do want to say I did get season tickets for the DC Defenders this year. I am located in New York, so if you live in the DC area, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to be in the Beer Snake section. I cannot wait, and we're cheering on the Defenders this year, baby. So the big news that just dropped in the UFL is basically all 8 general managers for every single team is now fired. That's obviously a strong word, but basically they were let go. The position of general manager is no longer a thing in the UFL. Now, when you first hear this, you think, oh, they're cutting costs, this is a bad sign, but not really. It was specifically stated that it is not a cost-cutting measure. They're just moving towards a new centralized scouting model, apparently. So I guess Doug Whaley and Russ Giglio will be in charge of personnel and administration. So what does that really mean? Well, we haven't seen it in practice yet, but I guess the theory is they're going to be working directly with head coaches to get the players they want on their roster, instead of having a GM have say. So head coaches will have direct say over their rosters, and we'll be talking to Doug Whaley, Russ Giglio, and others to scout and figure out what players they actually want. Now, this doesn't sound like a bad idea. It just sucks for Von Hutchins and other GMs like him who built the DC Defenders championship roster. He is a great mind and a great scout. He needs to be in the league at some capacity. But there is one more thing. How are the head coaches going to pick their rosters if they're not full-time around the clock? Well, now they are. Apparently, head coaches will now be full-time positions in the UFL, and it probably should have always been that way. The only thing that makes me nervous with this announcement is that Shannon Harris is obviously double-dipping from college and the UFL, so I really hope that we get him in the UFL. Obviously, he was a spark for DC last year, and he's my favorite head coach of all time. Gotta have him back. So I guess we'll see what happens there. So this is a lot of changes. The UFL has no more GMs. The head coaches have a lot more power. The only thing I'm worried about is the UFL going overboard when it comes to players from a specific market. For example, the Aviators in Columbus, if they only look for players from Ohio, you're leaving a lot of talent on the table. So I'm hoping there's not a quota or anything like that. But I think maybe that team should get first dibs then on players from that area before any other team gets them. Maybe that would help. But I'm not in the business of forcing players to play for a specific team. That would just cause an inferior product for the UFL. So you guys let me know down below, what do you think? What do you think this move means? What do you think is going to happen? And which coach do you think would be the best with this model? Let me know what you think down below, and I'm going to get out of here. And for the love of football, defend football, baby!